Hi, everybody, and welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. We are delighted to have with us today Maurice van der Heijden, who heads up the EMEA Digital First and Experience Management business in Verint, which defines and delivers CX strategies for their customers. Maurice has got a strong background in CX consulting, where he spent over a decade working directly with clients across industries, developing impactful solutions for clients and driving actionable intelligence into their business. Welcome, Maurice. We're delighted to have you today.
Thank you.
Now, Maurice, you have obviously been part of the industry for a very long time now, and you've seen the disruption that has happened in the CX space. How do you see the industry evolving, and what are the main challenges you are seeing in the CX industry this year so far?
Well, thank you for the question. It's an excellent question. And so let me take a little step back. So Verint runs an annual survey amongst business leaders called the Engagement Capacity Gap. And the results for this year have just been published. And we see that the main challenges that people report on are reduction in budgets for customer experience, and employee retention and engagement is really a big issue. So another common challenges that you see is data silos, and obviously a relentless shift to digital from a customer demand perspective. But what we did see, we found a very big divide between CX confident leaders versus non-confident ones. And the leaders that are confident about their delivery and their ability to deliver great CX, they have invariably invested more into the key solutions. So what we see is that confidence in CX delivery is really related to three things. So first of all, they have done considerably more automation in messaging and social channels, to give you more digital capacity. So they've been aggregating and analyzing customer feedback across the whole enterprise journey. So not only on little instances or interactions, but the journey as a whole. And that gives you better ROI on your actions. And then the other thing is better work management tools, really, to improve your employee well-being. So we've seen that although there are challenges in the market, those are really the three things that are successful. So, but there's a lot of work to be done there. We know that. So in a recent banking study that we conducted at Verint, we saw that 70% of people that contacted the call center, they had first tried to resolve their problem digitally. So although digital services are getting better and better all the time, so very often they still fall short of expectations of customers. So there is still a lot of focus required there to make that all more seamless. But I hope that answered your question a bit.
Definitely. Thank you very much. And I think you've touched upon a very critical issue out there, which is that with the digital pivot, there has been a lot of gaps left within the delivery. And as you rightly said, the expectation of the customer. And the key challenge that CX leaders face in today's date is to compress that gap and make sure that they are able to excel in their journey. And thus, embracing the latest developments and improvements is critical. Now, you rightly mentioned that obviously having a lot of innovative toolkit, it allows the clients to be able to do that. What, according to you, are the latest developments and improvements you have seen in CX and the way customers and companies engage with their customers?
Again, yeah, very, very, very good question. And so the biggest improvements that we see for successful companies and the way that they engage with their customers is actually around choice of channel. So giving your customers the choice of channel to interact with you and making that journey seamless, regardless of which channel you start in and where you end. And I think that's the single biggest gain that we see in CX this year. So instead of forcing your customer down to use email or phone for certain reasons, organizations are now actively listening to their customers and on how they want to interact, and they're letting that drive the channel choice. So this has repercussions, obviously, for technology that organizations use, because you need a platform that can give you customers the choice that they need. So, but you need to be able to drive efficiency well. To give you an example, if I give your customers 5 channels to interact, you need to make sure that you don't build 5 silos in your contact center organization to deal with those channels. Instead, you need to make sure that your staff can handle channels, interchangeably. And so you can optimize the resources that you have. And also, the more channels that you have, the more customers will switch in between by definition. They might start on their mobile via WhatsApp, and then they finish their journey with a call to the contact center because that was necessary. So in the most successful companies that we see out there, they make those transitions seamless, and they make sure there's no information lost for when a customer goes from WhatsApp to a call, for instance, so they don't have to repeat themselves. So it feels like an uninterrupted journey for the customer. So I think that's really the biggest things that we've seen happening now so far in the market.
Wonderful. Thank you for your insights there. Now, what would you say is the top technology enabler which is driving the transformation we are witnessing right now?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because there is quite a lot of stuff going on. You hear the Chat GPT, you hear loads of stuff, but my choice would actually be the IVA, so intelligent virtual assistant, also known as a bot. Yeah. So now, not every bot is an enabler, but a good IVA, like Verint one is, that they have 3 things in common. So first of all, they have to detect customer intent very well. So an IVA has to be able to recognize the customer problem as soon as possible, so to be able to either solve or handle the issue. So that's where we see AI and self-learning of those bots come into play very well, and they're getting better and better at that. And then, a good IVA provides an accurate response, and that sounds very straightforward, yeah, but it needs to take into account customer circumstances and data, so that your IVA or your bot can actually provide a truly personalized response. And again, that it has seen great breakthroughs in the past year of how that has worked. And thirdly, a good virtual assistant also knows when to hand off to a human agent. There's nothing more frustrating for a customer if they want to get to an agent and then the bot keeps looping you back and back with more meaningless questions. Knowing when to hand over to a human agent is actually one of the hallmarks of a good bot experience. So yeah, to come back to the question, if a good IVA can be deployed for speech as well as digital channels, it can take care of an enormous amount of customer queries directly without, people having to touch it. And it can also be used very, very nicely to route queries efficiently. So I do think that good bots are there to stay, and they really drive better experiences at higher volumes.
Definitely. And in the survey that we did in the Middle East as well, IVA actually came up as the #1 technology solution that companies are looking to procure to strengthen their tech stack for CX and contact centers. So rightly so. Now, you have enabled companies, big and small, across the globe to exceed customer and employee expectations. Now, how has your software impacted companies in terms of not just customer experience, but also their employee experience?
Yeah, that's a good one. And so actually, in my mind, the answer is quite simple, and it is around knowledge management, really. So for frontline employees, there is nothing worse than not knowing the things you need to know to provide a good service to your customers, no matter if you are standing, at the reception desk in a hotel, or if you're a call center agent. Yeah, you need to know the stuff you need to talk to your customers about. And it's a well-documented and well-researched fact that 36% of time in a customer-facing function is actually spent on searching for the right information. So, and it's incredibly stressful for employees not knowing if they will find the right piece of information, yes or no. They have to put the customer on hold, etc., etc. This all loads to a negative working experience. So And that is where knowledge management comes in, making sure that your frontline employees always have the right answers in front of them. And even better, real-time knowledge assistance is something that we do really well and really often. To give you an example, so when a customer-facing employee is on the phone or on a chat with a customer, so Verint speech text analytics will analyze those customer words in real time and provide the employee with the unsolicited knowledge to provide the answers to the customer immediately. So the employee doesn't even have to search. The answer comes up on the screen if and when it is required based on what the customer has been talking about. And that has two massive benefits. So first of all, the customer spends less time on the phone or online resolving their query. So that's always a good thing for NPS scores, etc. So you get a happy customer. And secondly, the life of the employee is so much better and more enjoyable because instead of having to search and look through files and so on, so to be able to solve your customer queries and problems without hesitation, without having to search, we've seen is an incredible stress reducing factor for people. So I think that is really the one thing. If I look at employee experience and how we can make life better for our employees in customer facing functions, it's really around knowledge management and how you use that.
Definitely, Maurice. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that actually is a very critical challenge that is faced by most companies in today's day, especially with the remote working, as well as the new ways of management, along with all the digital pivot that has happened. Now, Verint is obviously a leader in the CX space. So how does your company distinguish itself from other players in the market?
Yeah, again, a good question, and some of this, some of what I'm saying, everybody will say, but I think the way we stand out in the crowd is that we have a wider and a deeper business application suite than any of our competitors in the customer experience space, and we really look at three areas that we feel in customer engagement that are critical, and that's what we focus on. So firstly, there is workforce engagement, how you optimize your workforce and create the best employee experience possible. And I just talked about it a little bit. Secondly, digital first engagement. So solutions like, the IVA, the bots and knowledge management that power your organizations also towards a digital future. And then the third area, experience management, really listening to your customers and analyzing data and build better experience based on that. And those three areas at Verint are built around the single core of analytics and AI. So regardless where you are as a customer of Verint, you can always use your best-in-class AI power that we have. And secondly, we are a very truly open platform as well. So we don't care where the calls or the text or the data comes from. Verint's focus is on making it as easy as possible to get data in for you and to create the best possible AI-driven solutions to make the best of the data in those three areas I talked about. Now, as I said, many CX and CCaaS providers, they will provide solutions like this, but Verint has really built an enterprise-grade suite of applications that can drive the business benefits better than anyone else. So as we just discussed, there's many people that can deliver a basic virtual assistant or a bot, but the Verint ones, they know, they're built to operate in live, real-time environments using the best AI technologies available to get the biggest benefits. So it's actually, in principle, is the quality of our suite of applications that make Verint stand out, we feel. So that was the answer.
Congratulations. I feel that, with the feedback that we receive from Verint customers in the region as well, I think whatever you've articulated is quite spot on. And it's the overall impact that you're able to create for an organization that helps you stand out. It was delightful talking to you, Maurice, and we look forward to seeing you at the CX Live show very shortly in May, where Verint is obviously one of our top sponsors. And we'll be looking forward to you hosting the Leaders Connects as well as the keynote, in order for us to understand how Verint is able to solve complex CX issues for the organizations in the region. So looking forward to that, and thank you for your time today.
And thank you for your time. Looking forward to be there live.
Likewise. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.